Turner is like, there's nothing to think about there. Like that is as clear as day. Support her. She absolutely is as good a voice as you're ever going to find in politics, much less the movement.
In electoral politics, there's no one like her.
Yeah. She's one of a kind. And listen, I have no doubt that there were mistakes made on her campaign for sure. But the fact that she really was left at the altar and no one, and I mean no one, gave up more to support Bernie Sanders than she did. I mean, she was somebody who the Clintons and the Democratic establishment saw as, somebody who was eventually going to become, maybe a senator in Ohio and that type of thing. But she recognized what was more important. And for that, loyalty, almost, especially in American politics, it really doesn't exist. It's or as you like to say, loyalty for hire.
You can't. And we're writing a book about this kind of stuff now, actually. And we're going to reference campaign things where we think that things went wrong. And there's definitely some loyalty confusion on the left in a lot of different directions. That's causing a lot of losses. I
mean, I saw Nina break her back for so many candidates go to where their district is to help them campaign and get out the vote, and the work that she did on the stump, which was so amazing.
And then where were they?
And it's almost like we get to Cleveland and we're like, how are we the only people here? How is that possible?
Yeah.
I didn't understand at all. Why did the Justice Democrats come out with that weird excuse after the fact? Like after the election where they were all like, well, we're seeing a lot of big money being funneled from pro-Israeli groups and we have to pick and choose our battles and blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I was like, okay, an endorsement, first off, all it is that it could be as little as a tweet. You could just put out one tweet and be like, I endorse Tina Turner. That would be it. You don't have to campaign. You don't have to give up funds. I mean, if you want to, awesome. If you want to put in the time, great. But I don't understand why all of a sudden it was like post the event is like, well, we didn't have a choice. We had to do this in order to protect ourselves. And I was like, that seemed very off to me.
It's cowardly. And it's spineless. Yeah. And the reason that I can say that is there was somebody who did endorse Nina Turner right from the get-go. And it is someone who is part of the leadership of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. And she actually, Katie Porter, endorsed Nina before the Progressive Caucus ever even mentioned Shontel Brown. So there are people that are willing to put themselves out there for what is right.
Bernie.
Well, yeah, Bernie, but I'm just talking, we were talking about like squad people. And Bernie did come out and endorse Nina. It wasn't like he didn't pay attention to it, but there was when I'm in a campaign office and people want to take selfies with me and I'm sort of the most known person that's there for Nina Turner, that's not a good sign, people. Not a good sign. And that's how it was. I mean, while we were there, Keith Ellison came, I think Cornel West. Cornel West, but Cornel West to me is sort of outside of, he's non-political. I mean, he's involved.
The biggest, and this is something that you do on your show, which is very good and very important. You call out the hypocrisy of the cloud chasers led by you-know-who.
He wasn't there.
No, he wasn't, but he was like, he was trolling the hell out of Nina. And it's like, how could you troll Nina? And if that's not enough.
Weeks before the election.
Yeah, of course, saying goodbye somebody. I mean, you have to be the lowest form of low to really just go after somebody like that. But what, in my opinion, made it even worse from the standpoint of justifiably going after AOC, and there are times where going after her makes absolute sense.
Oh, 100%.
If you're going to endorse Nina Turner, not only should you not endorse her at the 11 o'clock hour where you have no opportunity to circle the wagons and really get people out there, she couldn't even be bothered to make one social media post about it. She sent out one fundraising email. She wouldn't post it on Instagram. Nina had to basically do it all on her own and couldn't do it on Twitter either. And you're talking about millions and millions of people. Now, in hindsight, how much of a difference it ultimately would have made, I can't really say. But I know this. If you have the amount of people in your arsenal that AOC has, which if we're talking about, look, she's got 13 million followers and all that, but how many super followers? Maybe 500,000, maybe something in that range. You're telling me that if she was really encouraging people to get involved in the race, that you couldn't have had an additional 1,000 to 1,500 phone and text bankers on the campaign. You could have potentially had maybe 50 to 100 people who might have made the trip to Cleveland to
That's
lend a hand.
exactly why they don't let her endorse. That's exactly why she doesn't do that.
So to me, that
I mean, there was still more than a lot of the other people in the squad or the Justice Democrats. I mean, she was one of the only people the day before who even endorsed. I was flabbergasted by that. I was wondering to myself, what's the difference between this run and the last run? Because I felt with the last run, there was a push, there was a bigger push. And this one, it was basically, there was a handful of politicians. TYT, to their credit, did a huge push for Nina Turner. I think Cenk spent like $25,000 of his own money.
Yeah.
But
I think the difference is that now they have an incumbent. And that incumbent, while she's only been there for half a second, went out and joined the Congressional Progressive Caucus. So now they're working against somebody that's one of them. So in the special election, they didn't have that. And so I think that's a big part of it now. And they actually see, the corporate side sees Chantel as an ally because she is. Right?
Mm-hmm. You can say that again. And again,
she's corporate whore.
But you know what? There is no there, as you like to say.
Yeah.
She's not. She already has multiple ethics violations. She's still the chair of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, which is a clear violation of the bylaws. We know laws don't actually apply when it comes to corporate power. But she also was somebody who didn't even have a ground game. There was nothing there. And how great Nina's ground game was, it's hard to say because we were there and it left a lot to be desired. But you know what? When everyone pulls back, when everyone leaves her in the dust, it's like, what the hell, man? Anytime that I was ever at a Bernie rally or any political rally that Nina was there, there was no one I looked more forward to hearing than her.
Oh, she's the best.
No, she's so captivating. Yeah, I managed to interview her the Sunday before the election, and I was one of those things where like you get 25 minutes because obviously she's got to go onto this show and then go into that show and all this kind of stuff. But those 25 minutes, I was just like, what a speaker, what an incredible speaker. You have a way with words and you can make almost every end of your sentence sound inspiring. Like that's certainly like, that's a gift. Well, I was going to say it was heartbreaking, except for, of course, her concession speech, which is one of the best concession speeches I've ever heard. How are you inspiring in your concession speech? Like you're getting me fired up. I've never had that before. Where I'm watching concession speech, I'm like, oh, I'm inspired now. This is wild,
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.